Hey, I'm in Kentucky right now, and this past Saturday we went to a flea market and I found 24 books. I paid $38 for them, so they were less than $1 each. And I mean $2 each, sorry. Some were two, some were one, and some she just gave me, so it worked out really well. So I wanted to share what I got because it's fun and I love watching other people's, and I did my last video and people liked it. So I thought I would do that and show you some of the things I got. Yeah, so I'll just show you. I did get a bunch of like these comic cartoons because I use them for our tour bin that I do with the boys. I've said before I'd share about that and I haven't done that yet, but I need to do that. But they get to earn them. So I got those, and then I found 3 landmarks. Daniel Boone, Mark Twain, and Jesus of Nazareth. This one is actually written by a man who's not a believer, and I've heard that it is supposed to be interesting. So I got that for the kids. And then finally, I got this one for myself. It's called Saints Alive, and there is a new book that came out. I can't remember the author or what it's called, but it is about the New Testament early church believers, and I have it in my Amazon cart and I'm really excited to read it. And I found this book, and it actually goes through and covers, let me show you, it covers, I don't know if you can see it, but it covers a lot, or all of, the named New Testament believers, and it kind of gives just a very brief biography of those. So I picked that up. I want to read that, and then I'm going to buy the new book that came out because I just think it'll complement each other really well. Okay, Andrew Henry's Meadow is a book that we already own, but it is one that I love, and for $1, I could not leave it behind. The Golden Treasury of Natural History is just a really beautiful book. Gorgeous illustrations. It's full of all sorts of information about animals. And I have heard, let me double check, I think it's 52. Yeah, this was 1952, this copyright one. And I have heard that the 1952 version is one that you want. I don't know why, but I've heard that. So I have it. All right, I found this series, The Enchantment of America, and got these 2 states because that's what they had there. And these look, I'll show you the Missouri one. They've got really great illustrations. Look at this. Discarded in 1997. It's been rotating in the world of used books for 20 years now. And now it's found a home. Okay, so it's got these great illustrations throughout it. And just reads like a story. It sounds really interesting. So I got those for the boys. I got this one. It doesn't have a cover. From what I've read about this one online, I'm gonna read it first. It seems, I don't know, I really don't know the story. I don't know the author. I don't know anything about it. However, I'm gonna read it before I give it to my kids. This was one that Judah wanted, Hero Tales, and this, the young folks set. He was not familiar with most of the stories, and so, I mean, some of them he knew, but not all of them, and he's never read this book before, so we picked that up for him. All right, Colette and the Princess just looked like a fun story. I haven't seen it before, and so I picked it up for the boys. Wesley read it, and he said it's a weird story, but I did get them that one. And then the first book of Snakes, picked up. It's a little damaged, but this is a great series. And again, there's just illustrations throughout it. Okay, then we got Meet Theodore Roosevelt. The boys are really getting too old for these books. They're too old for these books. Sort of. Wesley still reads them, but he's getting too old for them. But we don't have this one, so I picked it up. Okay, this one we already own, but again, for $1, I could not leave it behind. Greg's Microscope. It's a science I can read book, and it's very simple, but it is a really great book. So I picked that up for somebody. And then another Daniel Boone. I don't actually know why I got this one because we have so many Daniel Boone stories. And I picked up that landmark that was a Daniel Boone, but I grabbed it. All right, Little Chip. I'm very excited about this one because it is written by a couple, by Berta and Elmer Hatter, something. And it's called Little Chip of Willow Hill. And I love nature stories by married couples, and I'm finding this wonderful small little collection of them, and I was so excited when I saw that I picked it up and plan on reading it myself soon. All right, and then the final books I got were in this series, in the All About series. They look like this on the shelf, and they were $2 each. So I got this one, The Arctic and Antarctic, Scientific Expeditions, Great Medical Discoveries, and Moths and Butterflies. And these just make really great additional reading for, right now, Judah. I give him extra reading with his school. So yeah, these just make really great extra readings on whatever subjects he might need to be reading about. So that was my book haul from the weekend at the at the flea market. It was called the Awesome Flea Market, I think it was called. It was in Kentucky. We're in Fort Knox right now, so it was like 45 minutes from where we're at. I'll put the address in here and you can see it in case you're nearby. It's definitely worth stopping at. I think it was in aisle number 8. This woman had so many books. I mean, tons and tons and tons of books, and so many really, really good ones, old ones. She had a lot that we already owned. I bought 2 of them that we already owned because they're like favorites, but she had so many. And then she had a bunch of series that we are not collecting, like the Best in Children's books, and she had the Happy Hollisters. She had a bunch of the old Bobbsey twins and Nancy Drew, tons of picture books, like a couple hundred probably, and she just had an enormous selection of books that were of great quality and really decent pricing. They were like $1 to $2 primarily. Some were $3. She had deals on some, like buy 3 of the $3 books for $5. Something like that. I don't know. I shouldn't quote that. I can't remember. But she had great books, great prices, and she was really friendly and she was really knowledgeable. While I was in her booth looking at books, a woman came up to her and said that she was looking for a certain recipe in a book. And this woman, I didn't hear what it was, but this woman, the seller, she started going through all her cookbooks because she knew where this recipe could be found in the book, and it had all these tips and things like that. And she was just a really well-read and very intelligent woman, which is exactly what you want when you're buying books from someone. And it's totally a bonus when they're selling books that are affordable.